What's up, financial Zen masters? The markets tumbled 1% on Thursday after Joe Biden's new tax plan came out. The question is, how will his tax plan affect you? Stay tuned, I'll let you know. But first, welcome to the Financial Zen channel, where the big question is, how can you, a super successful, hardworking overachiever, with kids at home and a mortgage to pay, how can you quit your 9-to-5 grind so you can go spend the rest of your life pursuing your passions while still providing for your family? That's the question. I got your answers. I'm Rick Valenzi. I'll be your guide. All right, so no surprise, new presidential administration, new tax proposals. It kind of comes with par for the course, right? So this week, the first one, nothing's passed yet, but the first sort of iteration has come out, and a big portion of it was a big change in how capital gains are taxed. And so the question everybody's asking is, how would that affect me if this passes? It hasn't passed yet, but this is how it would affect you. So let me give you the lowdown. Okay. First thing you need to understand, let's start with the basics. First thing you need to understand is that there's effectively two different taxes that you pay. You pay taxes on ordinary income, against the money that you earn, right, from your company, through your employer. And those are the income taxes that everybody knows about, the income tax brackets, right, that everybody talks about, etc., right? So that's ordinary incomes. And then you have capital gains taxes, which is a separate system, a separate tier, which taxes money that you make from your investments. So capital gains tax is whatever you earn. So let's say you invest, $10,000 in ABC stock, and then you sell ABC stock for 20 grand. Well, that $10,000 you made, you're gonna be charged capital gains tax on that. Now, how much your capital gains tax will be depends on how much money you make. So let me give you the easy version. Okay, let's see if we can see this. Okay, so you got ordinary income over here, right? The two ways to do it: ordinary income, that's just money you make, W-2, payroll stuff, and then you got capital gains. Now, what I have over here is capital gains rates for long-term capital gains. Short-term capital gains is any gains that you make from an investment that you sell within 12 months of buying it. So if you bought that ABC fund for 10 grand now and you sold it 3 months, in 3 months for 20 grand, that $10,000 you made would go over here. That'd be charged in your ordinary income, okay? But if you wait 12 months to sell ABC and you sell it for 20 grand, that 10 grand you made would be charged long-term capital gains. So there's short-term and long-term capital gains. Short-term capital gains is the same as ordinary income. Long-term capital gains is this section over here. Okay, so currently, this is how it currently works. If you make it's about $40,000. If you make less than $40,000, capital gains, or there is no capital gains tax effectively. But if you make between $40 grand to $250,000 as a family, this is for married filing jointly, your capital gains tax rate is going to be about 15%. Okay, so again, in that example, that 10 grand that you made, you would pay $1,500 in capital gains tax, right? If you make $250,000, between $250,000 and $500,000, your capital gains tax is going to be. Did I do that right? Oh no, sorry, it's other way around. One moment, live TV. I mean, sort of. 18.8. Okay, glad I caught that. Okay, so 250 grand to 500 grand, your long-term capital gains is going to be 18.8%. That's because when they passed Obamacare, they added a 3.8% investment income surcharge to pay for it. And that just means if you make over 250, you pay an extra 3.8% on your capital gains, okay? The other thing that came with Obamacare was if you make over 500 grand as a family, married filing jointly, then this 15% turns into 20%, and then you still have that 3.8% surtax. So your top rate, if you make over 500K, is going to be 23.8. And right now, 23.8% is as much as you would pay on any capital gains, okay? Now, what Biden is proposing is I think it's 7%. What Biden's proposing is this. If you make over $1 million, you're just going to be charged, long-term capital gains is no longer a thing. You're basically just going to be charged ordinary income rates on whatever your investment income is, right? So it wipes out all of this. You're just gonna nearly double to 39%. I think it's 39.7%, 39-ish percent. So that's the proposal. So the takeaway from this is, if you make under $1 million right now, at least in its current form, what he's proposing is not going to affect you. If you make over $1 million, then yeah, you're going to pay quite a bit in long-term capital gains. Now, there are ways to mitigate higher capital gains rates. Some of the things, if you're a Financial Zen member, we already do for you, but you can tax loss harvest, right? So this is all in taxable accounts. So that means if you have money in retirement accounts like an IRA or a 401k, that has nothing to do with you, right? The magic of the retirement accounts is that there are no long-term capital gains charged within there. They're tax deferred. You pay no taxes on those until you take the money out, right? And then when you take the money out of the retirement accounts, you're charged just ordinary income because you never pay taxes on it. So maxing out your retirement accounts is one way to mitigate that. Another way to mitigate it is to harvest tax losses. So Financial Zen, for Financial Zen Investment Management, we harvest tax losses on a regular basis, weekly basis. And that basically just means when the market takes a dip, you sell whatever took a dip. So you make that paper loss an actual loss. Okay, and then you can use that actual loss to offset capital gains if you have them down the road, within the same year. So that's an easy one. The other thing that you can do is make sure that you are rebalancing your portfolios with dividends instead of selling things. So the way that rebalancing works is you put everything back into place, right? Reset the entire portfolio allocation. So if you're 50-50 bonds and stocks, and you wake up one day and you're 60-40, then you sell the 60 and add at 10 to the 40, and now you're 50-50 again. One way to get rebalanced is each one of those, are going to be paying dividends or income of some sort, right? You're going to be getting money, and then you can just reinvest that. So anyway, reinvesting dividends and not having to just automatically buy the funds that you receive the dividends from is a way to mitigate taxes. And then, just maxing out your retirement accounts as much as you possibly can, your HSA and retirement accounts. And then the other thing that this might produce for those that will be affected by it is being smart about when you're realizing gains. So if we know you need to, diversify, if you have a bunch of company stock, you're going to need to diversify that. We might want to collect as many tax losses as we possibly can inside 1 year, and then sort of front load, right? Match them up so you do everything all at once, right? To offset it. But it's basically just smart financial planning. One I can't resist. The year-end tax analysis that Financial Zen does for its members would uncover those opportunities. So if you're not a Financial Zen member, why not? But you'll have to do that yourself. So it's kind of cool because all this stuff, everything that I just talked about is stuff that we do for our members. Financial Zen Investment Management, we do the tax loss harvesting, we reinvest, rebalance with dividends already. That also on a weekly basis, and we already run the year-end tax analysis to figure out, make sure that you're doing everything you can before the year end to mitigate your taxes. So there you go. So if you make under $1 million, nothing's going to change. If you make over $1 million, there's going to be some planning to do, for sure. There are going to be things you want to pull. But honestly, before that, we got to figure out if it passes. It's still got to get through Congress and get passed, and a lot of things can happen down the road. But that's been in the news this week. That was probably the number one news story this week, I would say, in the financial news. And so I thought I would address it. On that note, this is the first. I think on Saturdays, I'm going to just do a recap of whatever the most important news was from the week, financially speaking, in the financial news, and get you up to speed on it. Give you a once over on it, get you up to speed on it. So, when you're at your barbecue, your neighborhood barbecue, you can show off to all your neighbors, right? Anyways, so if you liked it, let me know in the comments below. If you thought this was good and a nice insight into what happened over the week and how this might affect you. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe below. Hit the thumbs up button if you like this video, and then share with some friends. This is good stuff. This is very topical stuff. So I think this is pretty shareable content for you. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.